launch activity. So thank y'all for everything that y'all are doing with that. Lastly, every week we focus on shaking the gates of hell, causing heaven to rejoice, and changing lives. And so we do that by having someone or a couple come up and share a God story about how God is shaking the gates of hell, causing heaven to rejoice, and change lives. We're also pairing that with an Advent reading, because this is the second week of Advent, and the lighting of the Advent candles. So we have Joe and Lisa Durden coming forward today. So let's give it up for Joe and Lisa Durden as they share God's story and help enter us into Advent. Thanks.
Hello. I'm not a public speaker, so please forgive me. This is kind of our story. So about 15 years ago, Joe and I were living different lives. We did not know each other, and we were both in the midst of a storm. He had just recently divorced, or several years earlier, and was raising his children, 2 sons. I had just finished raising my 2 children with my husband of almost 25 years, and he was diagnosed with ALS. It was about a 2.5-year disease, and towards the end of it, we knew it was the end, and we pulled our family together for a celebration to bid him farewell. We were living in an apartment, and that day I ran into a high school acquaintance. We had never been friends. We went to a small school, so we know each other. Our moms worked together, but she and I had never been friends. But anyway, she came into my life for that day, and I had no clue why. But my husband died soon after, and I was attending church where we had raised our kids at, and we're still going, but the church didn't feel the same without him. It was hard to go as a single person when everybody else was kind of coupled off. So Ann and I ended up becoming friends, the acquaintance. She and I became dear friends, and she invited me to go to her church. She was going to a singles class, and so that fall, I joined her, and he was in the class. So anyway, let's see where we go after that. We started dating a few months later, and I won't go into that one, but we married a couple years after that. I didn't have any I was in my 40s when it happened, so I knew I could be alone, but I didn't want to be alone. I wanted a partner for the rest of my life, like I thought I had already had. You just never know what's going to happen. But anyway, we married in 2013. We've raised 5 grandchildren so far together. My kids have had them all, but we've got another round coming up probably with his. But anyway, I'm so thankful for Ann coming into my life at that time. She was the divine peace that I needed in the midst of that storm. And Joe I'm very thankful for this man. Here. That's it. Yep.
Henry Nouwen is a Dutch priest, philosopher, and public speaker. And of Advent, he wrote, "Advent leads to a growing inner stillness and joy, allowing me to realize that he for whom I am waiting has already arrived and speaks to me in the silence of my heart." And the Advent reading for today is, "In this season of waiting, breathe in life, life of the one who created all things and whose image we bear. In this season of waiting, breathe in love, love of the one who gave a precious son to live as one of us. In this season of waiting, breathe in peace, peace of the one who calms the sea and quiets the tumult of our souls. In this season of waiting, breathe in hope, hope in the one for whom we wait, who is indeed making all things whole. If you'll join me in a quick prayer. Dear God, we thank you today for this gathering. We thank you for shelter in the storm. We ask that you open our hearts to your message. Amen.